believe you.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
Jog off! We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Studying started!
The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and to be frank, we need your help. I know you've never been that sympathetic to our cause, but since the bombs, well, you've seen what happened. They have to be stopped, Alex. You know it in your heart, and tonight, well, it might be our very last chance. Play our tape at the second break. It's on your right. And please, when I hack in, let my message reach the people just once, just tonight, before Advance can't be stopped.
So?
Jesus, so what?
How's he doing?
How should I know?
What, you haven't heard from him?
He's a wanted criminal, Colin.
So's my nan, but she never misses her birthday.
Your grandmother's on the run, Colin.
Yeah. Armed robbery, resisting arrest, double homicide of the same bloke. She's right laugh.
I hope he's all right, though.
No, he's got this far, and your brother was fine.
Going in 10 seconds, everybody.
Wonder what they're doing.
Annoying him, probably.
Not probably, definitely. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf. Our top stories tonight. Future legend. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted multiple attacks across the territories. During the coordinated action, subsequently dubbed the Night of Fire, emergency services were kept busy at the agricultural centres, while a series of covert attacks were carried out freeing political prisoners, including former newsman Jeremy Donaldson. Nothing has been heard from the missing journalist since the violent Disrupt attack on his convoy 6 weeks ago. Donaldson was on his way back to Betterment after his notorious court appearance. All of us here at Channel 1 hope that wherever he is now, he's safe. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Promising a healthy, nutritious diet designed to keep all citizens at peak performance, the menu centres used locally sourced produce for that farm-to-plate experience, without the need for spreading manure in your tighty-whities. Happy talk. Record happiness levels have been reported today across the territories. As more and more former countries join the new future, a survey carried out by scientists at Queensview University reveals a stunning fall in depression, self-harm and suicides, especially in those territories which have historically faced the most unjust of indivisions. According to the professors, the binominal trajectories of the Bezier distribution show signs of becoming both inverted and protracted when dispersed over the square root of time. By applying Harrington's third law in conjunction with the vowels variation, we can clearly see that things are looking mathematically good for Julia Salisbury and Advance. Something's coming. Unsubstantiated rumours here in Territory 1 of armed protests tonight by increasingly desperate Disrupt terrorists. Despite the best efforts by the government, the self-styled resistance movement has continued to carry out a series of ever more extreme attacks. Increasingly unstable Disrupt spokesperson, the conspiracy nut Alan James, has not ceased in his lurid attempts to radicalise the public against Advance. Meanwhile, 3 stories we've been following reach interesting endings this evening. Weeping spores. Responsibilities overwhelming success in controlling pregnancy seems to have come with unforeseen consequences as sexually transmitted infections soar across the territories. Of particular concern is a new super herpes mutation, which one sufferer described as like being fisted up my inflamed Remington. Not the legacy the CEO would want after a tempestuous 2 years at the top. She resigned this morning. Fun guy. Unexpected news today as two familiar scientists announced the birth of an extraordinary child. The underground struggle of doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensvoord captured the hearts of people around the world. And after an arduous return voyage, which took over a year, the couple say they've never been happier. Baby Dante is said to be healthy, if a bit partial to the airing cupboard. Man on. Footballer Johnny Handsleeves and his new wife Tiffany Lamour proudly announced today that their little team was 1-0 up at full time, which apparently means that they're having a baby. Once beset by tabloid controversy, Johnny seems to be settling well into family life, calling this latest news the ultimate golden goal, if a golden goal also peed on you. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Parks for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're
But
live.
of course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days.
There.
No, she's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan, you join me here live from the what? Hello, Megan, you join me here live from the what?
Seems like we've lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back. Meanwhile, let me just say, I think the memorial gardens are going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs and Alana Marsh has done a fabulous job. Oh, OK, all right. We can now go live.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Patrick Bannon, and we are indeed live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
This is Alan. You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television, first moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming audiences up and down the country.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them, Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, late-night chat show PT, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these United Territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs alone.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man we loved. But his eyes still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago. Moments before I was supposed to give a speech, not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself, and I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked, and from behind me I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive, a brilliant thinker, a natural leader, but mostly a good man. This glorious nation of ours, so beautiful and new, this shining beacon...
Maybe you could edit more in our favour next time. Things are about to get started. We have another chance to control the impression the public gets. You'll know when, Alex.
The future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants, cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Should we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now, Alex, control the message.
Come with me! Don't panic! Help us here, look. We're gonna help you. We need a medic here! You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Okay, you two, stay with him.
Mom, we have to stay by your side.
I am the Prime Minister, and if I give you an order, you will damn well follow it. Do you understand? Do you understand?
I said turn us. Keep your eyes open.
Look at me, look at me, stay with me, help me, stay with me. We've got you, I've got you.
If you're coming, you sit down.
Oh, I can't. No, stay with me. I need help now! Please, stay with me. Please, stay with me. We're going to request authorization.
Goldsbury!
Trades are requested.
You are guilty of the murder of more than 10 million people.
Target on.
Justice demands a response.
Haven't you done enough? Look around you. This is what your precious freedom looks like, is it? Under fire!
People of territory one, right?
Lower your weapons!
Location secure.
I said, lower your weapons now!
Centigrade authorization was granted. None.
It was unnecessary. Can't you see?
Turn that off, please, sir.
Turn it off. I said turn it off.
Turn that off.
I said turn it off.
Turn that off.
Shocking scenes from the capital on the National Nightly News, and our apologies to any of our viewers who might have found these events upsetting. But at the National Nightly News, we believe in bringing you the raw, unedited truth as it happens, and we make no apology for that. We'll update you on the latest from this disrupt attack later in the programme, but when we come back, it's time for happier pursuits, and you know what that means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this. Does anyone know if everyone's...
Alex, I don't know what else to say. We need your help. I'm begging you. Alex, during this next section, a cameraman working in the newsroom who's one of us is going to get a coded location out. We don't know yet which camera he's on, but if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the air for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Megan, this is your new makeup artist, Craig.
No.
What?
No.
10 seconds, everybody. Sorry, Craig. It's a no. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolfe. Very shortly, we'll be heading on over to the final episode of what has quickly become a hugely successful feature, the notice board. But before we do, let's chat with Philippa Radon. Tell me, why do you think the public love the notice board so much?
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people. You know, people look at us and they say, those are real people struggling with real problems.
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA's secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them on TV.
People like you.
Yeah, precisely.
Right.
Unfortunately, then I was interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph, but a swift kicking from security soon put him back in line.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
Oh, it's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Wow, we really have a lot to thank you for.
Hey. You're welcome.
We've just heard. Our man's on camera 4.
I have a real sense of responsibility now. You know, a sense I've been entrusted with something precious and that I should use that platform for good.
Yeah, I think that's really important, that we should use this platform to do good in the world. I agree.
That's exactly it. So I've decided to help as many underprivileged children as I can.
You blew that one, Alex. You there. See if you can get a message to...
Better access to education, or, you know, reducing child poverty.
No, by adopting as many as I can get my hands on.
Oh, okay. How many children have you adopted?
Oh, we're well into the double figures now, Megan. I stopped counting in the late 30s.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah, once we finish pushing them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean, any child I can take on is a child rescued from suffering. children, were their lives really that bad before? Oh, they're Northerns, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think, actually, that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
I'd never thought of it that way before.
And I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable, then?
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water, so actually, if anyone wants to, I'd happily trade.
Now that I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Radin sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough for me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the Notice Board.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do. Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course. Keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know! It's a disgrace. Somebody has defaced...
You might as well try and get the go code out, Alex. Some of the cells know the location. We need 3 boos for the next 3 sound effects. 3 boos in a row. Please. Lives depend on it.
It looks heavy.
Ha! They don't call me the Right Reverend Ripped for no reason.
You missed it.
It's no good.
It looks like all those crucifix classes were a waste of time.
Perhaps you, a young CCO, would be able to move it.
Oh, you're fucking us, Alex.
Looks like all those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me, a strong and capable
Why
woman.
won't you help us? We're outnumbered, we're outgunned. What's wrong with you?
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town? Hi!
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferret struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
My God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry, we won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature. But really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
It's the morning of the village fete, thanks to theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again.
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fete.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that he had no more room for jam.
Almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here, officer!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well. Well, that was it. The final ever episode of the Notice Board. And what a way to end it. Thank you as always to Jeff, Philippa and Tommy. After the break, we'll be both dancing and learning. So don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ad.
Alex, this is important. Tonight is our one chance. Please, please play our ad.
Yeah? Hey, I've got a new grill out back. I've got 4 kinds of sausage. Hey, you.
I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. It looks bad. I thought the public would come out, that they'd be behind us. Still, can't give up now. One last request, Alex, if you can. One of the next guests is with us. When you get asked, censor him for us, and the final orders will go out. You'll get 3 chances. Please, if there's any humanity left in you, get it right at least twice. There's so many.
Jenny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
Did she? That's my shade, is it?
Yeah.
This is my shade. You can run back to Jenny now. Sorry about that, Sarah. Nothing you can tell me. At all.
They've said no one's died, that's all I can say.
10 seconds.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears.
Ugh.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor? Yes. Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do two charitable deeds. But the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John.
Oh, dearest John.
There's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wants, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, so John, we're having a baby.
How can this be?
Oh, woe is me.
Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of
Safety in our tiny flat. We built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in Territory 3.
No more waking up at 10:30.
In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again.
No more sad decisions to go on to a club.
You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian jobs?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's grown.
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one walls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife. We got a childless life. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. Changing nappies daily. We're having a baby. No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
Food and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have childless days.
We're having a baby.
No more stars and no more. We're having a baby. 18 years on bills at least. Time for a whole new phase.
We're having a baby.
One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Amazing. The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre District, and will be touring the territories later this year. Right then, come on you lot, come on down, let's go, don't be shy. Hello.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
It's an honour to be here.
Oh, really? Are you fans of the show?
Yes, used to be.
Well, listen, let's get stuck in. your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boreham-Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times, maybe?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe as well as being friends, you're also couples, you know, in real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
No. I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack, Jen Janet, Jill Jen, Janet Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we'd just use our own names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Mimbley Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing.
This piece isn't.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children, and why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem. Terrible problem.
Having children.
Well, you understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
This isn't about me. Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
You're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one, because...
You're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So, could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in it?
Well,
go ahead.
It's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and John have their child, and then the story charts the downfall of their hopes and dreams.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know,
when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The Noble Fair. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have been found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave. Not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right. So, is the situation... Now, are we safe?
Yes. The security services perform their duties without hesitation. And I would like to assure the public that although there have been some injuries, there were no civilian deaths here this evening.
Oh, that's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course, the camera. There's the speak there on the camera there. Speak there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need to get checked out, Patrick. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News, but before we go, one final thought. Throughout the programme tonight, we've been receiving reports of disrupt activities throughout the territories. Through a series of coordinated attacks, these terrorists are attempting to undermine Advance's vital work. However, sources at team headquarters have told us that this acid revolution was not only predicted, but allowed to happen. Our government have lured disrupt out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and, well, it's pretty scary out there tonight, so stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this programme that the turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our minds on building the new future with equality, fairness and resources for all. My name is Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
God, we made it to the roof. Set up a rocket launcher. Let's silence the monster. Look out for the Alex. Watch the
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Johnson. Our main headlines tonight.
Starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
What a wild ride this has been. Well, that's a very blunt question.
Advance is
Hello, Alex. I've checked the schedule for tonight. Nothing major to report. Certainly isn't anything you can't handle. Still, at least my daughter's in for Advance's new initiative. That should liven things up a bit here. Keep up the good work.
After the birth of their unexpectedly large family. At 9:15, it's What Music is Best? A rundown of the top-selling songs across the territories. Expect catchy tunes and scenes of an inappropriately sexual nature, not one to miss. At 10 p.m, it's time for Julia's Diary, where the ever-popular Prime Minister reads extracts from her diary in front of a warm fire. Then, at 10:30, it's the latest episode of our drama series, Betterment, which tells the inspirational story of Emily Dennisworth and the brave doctors and technicians struggling.
And this is Jenny. She's the floor manager.
Hi, Stacey.
That's Colin. He, too much. Don't talk to Colin.
Not getting involved and bring your daughter to work, eh, Colin?
Nah, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Believe in what?
Just days.
How did it all go so right? That's followed by the territory
Atta girl.
advanced briefing.
10 seconds, everybody.
Now
All of it.
Monday's a myth.
That explains so much. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
As we go over to Megan and the team.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolfe and Who's this, you might be wondering? Well, it's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day here at Channel 1. So I'm joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey.
Go fuck yourself.
All right then, here are the stories that matter to you. First up, with Advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face. This is from Sonia in Larkfordshire. I've had plenty of time to fill, so I've started a new hobby. Since I started knitting, I barely remember that 85% of the country is sterile. My record is this scarf. It's 124 metres long. Thank you for that. And if you've started a new hobby, do write in and tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit. I'm not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot, or the unbelievable way our menu centres are now able to feed every team member every single day. Catherine from Berkeldown sent us this, saying, I couldn't help but spot the face of poor departed Peter Clement in my 4th lager this morning. Oh, I'm not sure if I see it, Catherine, but then again, I'm only on my 3rd. Do keep those coming in. Can you have a go? We've just got time for one more of your stories, and this one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it, just tell us who it's from, yeah, and then read it out. Okay.
So this one says it's from John in Stokely. Before I was convicted, I'd never read a single book, but since I was released from Betterman, I haven't been able to stop. I'm even working at a library, and on our lunch breaks, Mr. Wordyworth spell checks for my tattoos.
We absolutely love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to become better people, so do let us know your stories here. You can do this bit, Stacey.
No, you're right.
Come on, give it a try.
Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. You'll need to use the S-Effect buttons for the next segment, but Advance have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
First up tonight on the NNN, it's time to celebrate this week's team lottery winners live from the Shakespeare Theatre right here in the capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury. I suppose you don't think much of her either, eh, Stacey?
She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers.
Okay, surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards. Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven past is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us. This is the new future. And I say to you, it's better now. I am delighted to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome to Alfie Touchbadger. So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights? Alfie? Alfie? Is he all right? Is he all right?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Yeah, he says that's fine then. And I will help him with that, yeah.
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
Yeah. We got it.
So, Alfie.
What?
You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Where is everybody?
Out there, in the dark. Bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I like this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, but you're
a woman.
Yeah, a woman. One of
Women can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh, stand your piss, standing up.
I can't say I've ever tried.
No, I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Oh, are you going to ask you about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that, so...
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked me mum and pap. There was no television then, back then, you know. We made our own entertainment out of coal and roadkill.
Well, that's fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yes. So I called it Patch, which were a popular name for a dog back then on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided to introduce him to pretty little Gertie Thimble, who lived up the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times, divorced 8. There was a mix-up with number 3, see? Yes, I'm just lucky. Are we going back to the home soon?
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here, the weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Handle-Bandlebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven paths, she'd have been locked up. Tonight, she is being honoured as a team player. Please welcome Daphne Snister.
Are you here to change me?
Just give her a medal, Alfie. There's a good boy.
Doctor, I mean, 2 sugars, please. And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Oh.
Ah. There he goes. Look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down, Mum.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are thriving.
Are we in? As the actors said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you. I've got it from here.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Now, open your envelope and find out what you've won. Don't hold back there. She's tougher than one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it. I've won a holiday for 2 in Territory 15. Used to be called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all one nation now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these wide fronts for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Oh, right you are, love.
Next up tonight is a couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lobelia, Jackson Randy-Gannett. Medals, Alfie.
You know, when I was in the trenches, I had a pal called Scotty Wilson. He was from way up north, so I didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
Should we describe him for ourselves? Probably for the best.
And his best mate was Smudger A. There was them two. Fiddly Eric, Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl, but she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us had ever seen, close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. Fiddly got shanked in Frankfurt prison in an argument over an olive. And Terry, he exploded quietly at home. Sydney got a fatal skin condition. Scratched herself to death. It makes you think.
Thanks, Alfie. Great contribution. So, Otho and Lobelia, a petting zoo.
After we lost all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who had never even owned a pony.
I used to have 3.
So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we could debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, before we do, there's something I wanted to say to you.
Oh, absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
When Advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
You might as well have the rest of it, too.
Oh, security!
Oh God, not again. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Bennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
Tag better. And you are? Oh, no.
Got to go.
Oh.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Oh, no, you don't.
You can't mix pearls with swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses, then turned to Fethel and Hungwell. And now what have we got? 2 mangy goats, 1 mongrel dog called Kenneth, and a rooster that won't bloody shut up!
Can we get this over quickly with, please?
As the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go again. Hello, Alfie Tadge Badger. Pleased to meet you.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, 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 oh.
The better bloke than what he knows.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in my 20s and we go to the promenade at Shining on Sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course. We'd visit the Penny Arcade and try to win a block of lard to take home for the family. You couldn't buy lard in those days. You had to win it. Oh, it was so much simpler back then. Boys were boys, girls were girls. Everyone else was recruited by the circuses. There were loads of them, you see, circuses, with their big tents and their candy floss. You'd hear the music, the pipe organ, drifting over the nearby fields. My mum used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Did you ever go to the circus?
What's that, Alfie?
The circus, yeah, don't go mind. Yeah, just a tea, pet.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia. Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team. And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value our fabulous new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got him, helping to root out more than 170 disrupt collaborators in his own neighbourhood. Since then, he's gone on to be a senior cohesion cadet leader and organised all of the entertainment at last year's Camp Cooperation. Our final winner tonight, Edwin Neverley.
Oh,
You should be in a transition centre, you old nonc. Prime Minister. It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. You're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role model.
Nonsense. Prime Minister, you have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with 9 fists. As with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you've won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they don't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you did on Liberation Night. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's awards. Join me next week when, hopefully, things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team awards ceremony. Any thoughts on this week's winners, Stacey?
The nurse was fucking scary, the pretees were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity.
Okay. Succinctly put there, if a little profane. After the break, we'll be going live to a star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back after this.
And we're out.
Oh, Alex, one other... What's that? You're off already? I know you had to take the day off work with Junior, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore. I'm so sorry, darling. Of course. I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex, completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. You're lucky your Susie is outside the catchment area and exempt for today.
Comic disaster.
Even as they still refuse to feed their earth, but they have underestimated us. For though they may have scarred our bodies, they will never damage.
Are you receiving us?
Are you fucking with us? Oh, right. So she can swear.
Birth rates may be challenging, but happiness is everywhere. Satisfaction radiates from every metric. We are producing more and faster than ever before. We have more time to focus on our inner lives, for leisure, for art. We have less stress, and we are healthier
So,
than ever.
Patrick and Robin are just going to grab who they can, and then you've got these generic links on your queue to glue it all together.
They do know I have a Queen's View degree in journalism.
Don't you wish you'd studied something useful now, eh?
Just bring your daughter to work day. What a chance.
Where is our honoured guest?
She's probably sniffing around that boy band. Hotspot.
Heat rash. Hotspot won it last year.
Heat rash.
Strengthening and protecting each other through cooperation, through unity, as one. Advance.
Everybody.
What have you been up to?
What's it to you?
And we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. Stacey's still here.
Wishing she wasn't.
Thanks. And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere of The Automated, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch and the late, great Helena Canterbury Boatshoe. And all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition and premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
deconstruct it.
Captain?
I can't deconstruct it. Robots!
Is this a wig?
You think I don't grow that?
No, Dick, I'll kill you. Think of Saturn.
There's something on your face, Chief Harrison! I wish you were real, baby. Flesh and blood.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. If only I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rusted, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, bitch, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, blast it off!
Here's a map.
What's a map? Okay, so head north on Interstellar Avenue, left at the asteroid belt, and a tricky three-point turn at Uranus. What are these symbols? This corner. This is the key.
We could shut it down.
Yes, we could shut it down. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What did you think, Stacey?
The robots were all right, I guess.
They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin.
Well, Megan, I'm joined by not one, but both of the stars, Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury-Bochu. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's thanks to shows like yours that Helena and I are even here. Don't you agree?
Well, I couldn't.
Absolutely right, darling.
And you two have both become absolutely huge in the past couple of years, haven't you?
Even huger, yes, that's right. I feel very lucky, very, very lucky to be born, well, you know. And Helena is in massive demand too at the moment. She's still the face of a major cosmetics brand, and she's booked to do a one-woman Lear in the summer.
Wow, it sounds like you're both very busy. But is there any chance we'll get to see you together on screen again?
Oh, no, I'm really not supposed to mention this, but yes, we are doing a little something together.
No.
I'm playing a weathered starship captain from another galaxy, and Helena is my droid companion.
But how does that work?
I spend 7 hours in makeup now.
No, how does Helena play a droid?
Oh, we just pop her on a roller skate.
Wow. Well, Lawrence Blunderclatch and Helena Canterbury-Bochu, thank you so much for joining me. And we're going over to Patrick Bannon now. Patrick, will we be seeing you in a movie anytime soon?
Thank you, Robin. Let's hope not. I'm actually joined here by...
Billy Bob Jean Short. And surely you recognize my youngest, pop sensation, Lil D. Her Lil C covers album drops next week.
Actually, we were expecting Lil C. Is she...
She's around. She's not been feeling very well. She's put me in charge.
Ooh, has she?
Well, the courts have. They gave me stewardship over her estate, her finances, and her internal soul. Praise Craglar!
Praise Craglar. Wow. But is she coming just because we've got some questions for her?
Well, she might be along later, but as her legal and spiritual guardian, I'll be happy to answer all and any questions on her behalf.
And Lil D, was it? Well, you look great.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I feel great.
Well, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Little C, and you could be too.
Really?
Little C's new line launches tonight. This is one of my favourite looks. It's called...
Oh, what a unique name!
Hard to spell, though.
But of course, Lil C is basically fashion royalty now, with a veritable clothing empire to her name.
Yeah, well, the label's gone from strength to strength since our initial TV launch on this very show, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So really, we have all you to thank for all this. You know, this hat cost more than my second jet. Feel that? Feel that?
Yes, it's a nice hat.
Person.
And Forbes magazine has named me the youngest self-made success story ever.
And do you have any advice for anyone wanting to follow in your footsteps?
Absolutely. All you need to succeed on your own is your family's financial backing and pre-existing fame. It's not rocket science, people.
Oh, well, but in sadder news, am I right that Lil C is going to be retiring from music?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm sure you can imagine. At 25, she's far too old for pop music now. She can't keep up with these young stars. So her best of album is out now, and she's touring that later this year. And then her farewell tour the year after that. And that's her last chance to see her. So until the reunion tour and then the classic tour after that. But it's been a long and varied career, as you can imagine. She's very, very proud of herself.
Oh, and if her health's bad, then maybe it's for the best.
What's wrong with her health? Oh, yes, her health. Her poor health. And it's surprisingly expensive treatments. Curse you, Zaytan! Damn your intergalactic justice!
Oh, yeah. Well, we'd better be letting you get back. Those babies aren't going to sell themselves, or possibly at all. Billy Bob, Lil C, D, thank you so much for joining me, and do pass our best wishes to Lil C.
Who? Oh!
Now, it looks like Robin is with a music legend who actually is irreplaceable. Is that who I think it is, Robin?
Absolutely is, Patrick. Jesus, how are you?
Yeah, you know, I'm good. I'm great. No offense to you, silencing me, silencing the truth.
Are you referring to your attempt to incite violence against the democratically elected leaders of this country on live TV?
Yeah, exactly. And instead of being held a visionary, my management and agent, they all dropped me.
Oh, no.
You can't break me when you didn't make me, you understand? See, I'm the voice, I'm the hope. You can lock me up, call the doctors, but only the moon can judge me.
So, what have you been up to since your team cut ties with you?
You know, keep building, keep moving. I'm actually working on a track right now. Written, recorded, directed, all by myself.
Can we hear a bit of it?
What now?
I know I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure the people at home would love to as well.
Yeah, sure, of course. Give me the mic. Yo. The news tried to shut my mouth, but it won't be long until they go south. Cause my name's Big J and you can't stop me. See, no censorship can stop me. Yeah, see, that's all I've got at the moment.
Did you just rhyme me with me?
No! Daddy promised this wouldn't happen again. You're supposed to clap and say, well done, Julian, well done.
Well done, Julian.
Thank you. Now, ask me a polite question, and I'll walk away nicely.
Okay, is it true that you're heir to a hotel chain?
What? Where did you hear that?
And that you're very much a live parent and currently on the run from massive financial hoarding. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you trying to censor me? Oh, Jesus there, who really does seem to be going from strength to something.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy